Welcome to the Ordinary Guy Garage. I'm Scott, an ordinary guy. And anyways, here's my 66. I'm taking it down right now, got it loaded up on the trailer, hooked up to the trusty old F250. And I'm gonna run it down to the glass shop, Bill's Glass, and they're gonna put in my windshield for me, and I'm gonna ask him about doing that side window too. So he said to be down there at 8, so I'm gonna do that before I head off to work. But let me flip around real quick here. All right, so I got the window all prepped in the original video, that the one where I failed miserably and cracked my windshield. But you can see this pinch weld right along here, really good shape, the whole thing. A lot of times you get a lot of rust in these things here, and I don't have any rust, but I got it all cleaned up. Should make it pretty easy for them to put in. The stainless steel trim, I kind of cleaned it up a little bit. It'll go back in. I don't need it to have it polished or nothing like that, not my style. But anyways, that's gonna happen. I'm gonna climb down off of here. And then the other thing is, I'm gonna see if he can change this window for me. I got the glass, I can do it, but you know what, while it's gonna be at the shop, at the glass shop, they'll probably just pop that in real quick. I still need to put in the new channels over here, but as far as mounting the glass into the track that's down, not track, it's not really a track, but whatever the glass sits in, I'll let them do that, get it done and over with. So, but anyways, that's it. That's going to be this one here. So I'm going to head on down there, and we'll check in later. All right, well, got the new glass in. Normally I don't do videos outside because, you know, the light and everything, but they got the new rubber in, got the stainless steel trim in. I don't know if you can see it or not, but they put a little bit of sealer right in between the glass here and the rubber gasket there, which makes it you know, a little bit better. I imagine it's sealing. Now from what I understand, from what he told me it took 3 guys a couple hours to get this glass in, because of I don't know if it took a total of 3 guys for 2 hours, but he spent about 2 hours on the truck. But he said 3 guys to put the glass in, and the reason for it is you have to put the gasket on the glass, and once it's on the glass, and you got to kind of peel back and duct tape it open and put the stainless steel trim in. And once that's all in, then you take the whole thing, you put the rope around it and stick it in all at once, and it goes back in. And he said, again, it's like trying to fight an octopus, you know, it's all over the place, but it's in, and they did it without breaking it, so that's kind of cool. And the big thing is if it leaks, big deal, I'll just take it back to them, they'll fix it, not me. So also the side window they put that in too for me. Pretty nice. I'm pretty happy about the whole deal. Now I'm going to be pretty much sealed up, so I could sit out here in the rain or whatever. The other thing I'm going to do is cap that off, and then if it rains a little bit, not a big deal. I still won't leave it out all winter, but you know, cap that off, and I'll be able to leave it out in the summer, and sometimes we get rains and it won't be a big deal. The new stance, I'm liking it. My son and I took it for a ride yesterday, went down and got some tacos and cruised around and did a few things, which led to our next project here. So, and I'll show you what happened here. That's why the truck is kind of in purgatory right now, sitting outside the shop waiting for parts. So what happened was, broke the snout, the input shaft or output shaft, whatever, off of the water pump. So if you ever want to know what is or isn't a good idea, I'll tell you right now what's not a good idea. Do not run a clutch fan with a spacer. No spacer and clutch fan. If you have a flex fan and you run a spacer, no big deal. But with the clutch fan, it's heavy, and all it takes is a little bit out of balance and you can lose your shaft. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Let me open this up. All right, so you can see the carnage here. The broken shaft from the water pump, and it put the radiator fan or the radiator and fan got into contact pretty good here. I had this radiator custom built a few years back, and it wasn't cheap, and so I don't know if I'm going to run this one again or if I'm going to go back with a, or come back with a aluminum one this time. Not sure, but anyways, threw coolant everywhere. It made a pretty good mess, so I got it all cleaned up out of here pretty much. But anyways, well, like I stated before, you know, I'm not a professional. I'm just a guy who's an ordinary guy, I guess, you know, that learns the hard way, you know, and kind of did with the glass a little bit, I guess. You know, I wanted to do it myself, and well, at least I broke an old windshield and I didn't break a brand new one. And you know, I spent $410 on getting the glass done, $200 in labor for the front windshield and the side, and $210 for a new windshield. So when it's all said and done, you know, I mean, I could have struggled and tried to get that other one in, and I'd still had a messed up windshield because it had chips and pits and stuff like that in there. Now I got a brand new windshield, so I'm ahead on that game right there. And now I know why I don't want to try to do that windshield by myself again. Well, I actually had my son help, one of my sons helping me, but still, I'd rather just take it to a shop for what it cost. You know, it was $105 for the windshield to have it put in, $95 for the side glass. So cheap money. But anyways, now when it goes to the radiator and water pump deal, you know, I could say, you know, cheap Chinese parts and point my finger at, you know, whatever, but really, to be honest, I'm the one who got to learn a lesson off of this. So, and I gotta own it. You know, I shouldn't have put a spacer with a clutch fan. If you're ever thinking about doing that, learn from my mistake. It ain't worth it. I wasted a really expensive radiator there, and you know, it is what it is. You know, the thing is my son and I were out for a cruise, went and got some tacos, you know, taking it for a ride, new lowered truck and new window. We were living high on the hog there. And I pulled out from a side street out onto the main highway, and it was wide open, and I laid into it. Bang, second gear, you know, we're just ear to ear smiles. Went for third gear, and I missed third gear, and it revved up, and bam, carnage. And I think it was all that weight on the end of the water pump, you know, revving up at however many RPM. And I'm just learning to shift that 4-speed like that. So, I mean, I could shift to 18-speed, do it every day, but the 4-speed, I got a lot to learn still. But anyways, I think probably what we'll do is we'll come back with an aluminum radiator. As much as I like the old school, and my way of thinking with this whole deal was I didn't want to run an aluminum, or not aluminum, I didn't want to run that either, but I didn't want to run an electric fan. I didn't want to run an electric fuel pump. I don't want to run a stereo with an amp. I don't want to do all that because I don't want to tax the charging system because it's got all original wiring, it's pristine, and I don't want to do that. But I'm gonna have to bring myself into the 21st century on a couple of things here. So if I'm gonna be revving it and banging gears, I gotta get the fan off of the water pump. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna order up an aluminum radiator with a fan and run the thermostat, or you know, the thermostat for the electric fan, and do that whole deal, and just, like I said, bring myself into the 21st century. Lesson learned the hard way, but you know what? That's how I've learned pretty much everything I know is the hard way. I've busted a lot of knuckles and I've broken a lot of stuff. But anyways, there it is right there. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for listening to me ramble on and let me show you my carnage. But anyways, subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. I got a couple new subscribers. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And give me a comment if you'd like. You can tell me some of the dumb stuff you've done or tell me what an idiot I am. I don't care, whatever. But yeah, stay safe, my friends.